All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in this Forex market. So, without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions. Grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage in today's session, right? So, out the gate, please, because I did have some technical issues this morning, had to switch locations. Drop me a one in the chat if you can now hear me loud and clear and you are all ready to go. All right, I see the one come in. I appreciate it. I thank everybody for their patience this morning. I think I am all set now with the tech issues. Hey, so let's make sure that we start out with a strong foundation each and every day that we are approaching these markets, taking massive action, making sure that we are accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing it for any outcome. Let's make sure that we center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading. Let's trust in our education, strategy, trading skills, and intuition. And as always, let's imagine our trades successfully materializing and that we are obeying our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear. And let's make sure, this is very important, that we are never looking back or stopping once our trade has commenced, right? So we are all set and ready to go. Now we've got our strong foundation in place. Let's click over, take a look at some of the fundamentals. Yesterday, right? September the 4th, right? So we had the big news was that we had the Bank of Canada rate statement. They did not cut, right? They held rates. The forecast is 4.25. They stayed at 4.25 there, so they came in as expected. Also, right, the United States continuing to gauge, right, the economy. Are we slowing down? Well, the job openings came through. The forecast was just over 8 million. It came in, right, 7.67 million, right? So less job openings than forecasted. Factory orders month over month, though, came in at 5%. Um, we had the Bank of Canada press conference. Didn't get a chance, super busy day yesterday to really read on that. Let's click to see if here. So let's see. Let me see. Uh, oh, sorry about that, guys. I misquoted on the Bank of Canada, right? So it's 5.4, right? The previous was 4.5. The forecast was 4.25, and they went down to 4.25, right? So they came in at forecast. So sorry about that. I misspoke. So quarter basis point cut. Macklem here, right, came in and said they did discuss different scenarios, including slowing the pace of cuts and also a 50 basis point cut, but they came in, there was a strong consensus for 25 basis points, right? So they cut by 25 basis points. So let me repeat that one more time. They cut by 25 basis points, right? I was reading that wrong. Um, Macklem not seeing a big impact on exchange rate from divergence with the United States, with the U.S. Fed on rates. Said we need to see Canadian growth above 2% and the need for more growth factored into our policy decision, right? So they're trying to spark growth, all right? So they want that growth above 2%. So it'll be interesting to see going forward because we had they discussed 50 basis points as well. So going forward into the next meeting, probably going to see, right? Of course, we'll continue to watch the data on the economic numbers coming out of Canada, but we'll probably see another 25 basis points come out of the next meeting as well, right? So 25 basis point cut yesterday for the BOC. All right. Any questions, right? Because that's a pretty important move yesterday. Any questions on that news coming out of the Bank of Canada? Well, all righty. So that's that. We had Australia, right? Governor Bullock spoke yesterday. See what she said. That's a different article. Australia's central bank will struggle to maintain low employment. Inflation stays above the target level, right? So that inflation continues to be sticky. I'll have to read later on that. Don't want to get too far behind. I want to get into the chart. So now today, right, we've got private sector, non-farm employment, right, for the United States. That's always a big number, kind of a precursor to the non-farm payroll that's coming up on Friday, right? Remember, we got non-farm data on Friday, which is the first Friday of the month. We also have employment data coming out of Canada, but we'll see what happens with the private sector data today, right? So that's the big one at 8:15. We've got unemployment claims coming out too, and we've got ISM manufacturing. So we should see some volatility today, and then we also have crude oil inventories for the United States. So lots of good data coming out today, especially if you're day trading, right? You should see some volatility there. Moving over to trading economics, we've got German factory orders unexpectedly rise. Okay, so that's good. So factory orders in Germany grew by 2.9% month over month in July, beating market estimates of a 1.5% fall, following an upwardly revised 4.6% gain. In June, it was the second straight month of increase due to large scale orders for aircraft, ships, trains. Also, orders for electrical equipment grew robustly. That is good for some of the Euro players that we were looking at. Also, Euro area retail sales edges higher, right? We know Germany is the largest player in the Eurozone, so that's always important. Okay, moving over, we want to take a look at some news on the DXY. So we see that the index traded around 101.3 on Thursday after losing 0.5% in the previous session, weighed down by growing expectations that the Federal Reserve would deliver, right? So it's shifting, right? We have to watch this. Will deliver a supersized 50 basis point rate cut later this month due to weak data. Markets are also pricing in about 125 basis points in total easing this year, right? So remember before they were looking at 100 basis points and we were going back and forth whether it was going to be 25 or 50 basis points. Just not too long ago, right? When we saw the GDP data come out, they were talking 25. Now we're talking 50. So the JOLTS report showed that job openings unexpectedly fell to an over 3-year low in July, fueling market concerns about a softening labor market. So this added to the sharper than expected downturn in domestic manufacturing activity highlighted by ISM PMI, which triggered renewed fears of a recession. Right, so back and forth. So we will continue to keep an eye, right? But we know we've got that Fed rate cut hovering over the markets right now, right? And that is, I think, the middle of the month. Okay, so we'll continue to keep an eye out on that. Any questions over any of the fundamentals that we covered? We've got a lot going on. Nope. All right. So let's move on. So let's jump into the charts. We'll take a look at a lot of the 80-20 setups that I've been following. Yeah, that's primarily what I have for today, right? Because those are playing out. So we'll start with the Aussies, taking a look at this Aussie Swissy. Okay, where we're fighting, we got this move, right? We take a look at the daily, we got the swing high that formed, nice bearish candle. Now we're sitting here at this daily support level. But what that looks like on our 4 is we are getting close to coming in at a TP1 on an 80-20 play. Okay. So while we may eventually find that low price and get back long with this Aussie, right now, right, we are moving down. Okay. We are moving down. We will continue, right, as we move through the month to watch that risk sentiment to see, right, as we continue to get growing concerns here in the United States, right, about like we just read in regards to recessionary fears and things like that. We want to continue to watch market sentiment, okay? Because now we've gone from 25 to now, right? The bets are for 50 50 basis points. But keep in mind that we've got private sector job numbers coming out today, unemployment numbers, and on Friday, we've got non-farm. Right. So a lot of mixed data, a lot of bouncing back and forth. But for right now, just following the technicals, this is coming in at TP1. Any questions on an Aussie Swiss? Okay. All right. Moving down. The next one I have on my list is this Aussie dollar setup. Right. We're continuing to see, right? Can we get this to play out? Middle of an 80-20, that's a 170 pip target. We've made good progress so far. Hopefully we can get this to turn over and move back to the downside. Keep in mind, right? That is not an 8:30, that is an 8:15 today. We've got ADP non-farm employment numbers coming out. And then at 8:30, right behind that, we got unemployment claims. And then at 10, you got ISM services PMI. So lot of data that can impact that dollar today. So just keep that in mind. But right now, right, we're making lower lows and lower highs. We've got a high here, so maybe we can get that to turn over. Any questions on the Aussie dollar? No. All right. One that looking at from um way up, way up high. Is the Swiss yen, right? And so, you know, when we looked at the COT data, um, we saw that investors, right, starting to back that yen, right, starting to put capital flows into that yen, and so the Swiss yen is one that we're watching from. This is a weekly 80-20 long term. You see it pushed up, and now it's turning over, right? So the question is, if this yen continues to strengthen, keep in mind, right, we're watching that risk, that sentiment, risk on, risk off, right? That can impact this as well, even though Swiss is a safe haven. When you look at how investors are putting capital flows into that yen, right? I favor this one to the downside. Okay, so we can see here that just tracking it, we put in a high, right? A swing high on a daily. Our daily stochastics in the sell zone, and we are moving down, right? Two nice bearish candles. See if we can get pullbacks and continuations. So we see how this is swinging. We rolled this up to that resistance level, but I want to make sure that we are falling in line with the direction that we have, and we want to make sure that we're tracking this to the low, right? So this was a weird one, the way this one played out, which is why we played that reversal. But I want to track this into the downside, like so. So we're back, we're below that level. We didn't continue above it. So, right, we want to move down this one. Like that. All right, so there was that swing, and now down. Right? So I'm gonna stay bearish on that play. That's the 15-minute there. Okay. All right. Any questions on the Swiss yen? No. All right. We'll keep it moving. Euro Aussie. Right. We were looking at this 4 hour 80-20. Mhm. So look, here we go. There's the daily move. Very powerful. Very powerful, everybody. Okay. So swing highs and swing lows. We had the strong move down, and now we've reversed. Okay. So Technicals and fundamentals. Germany, largest player in the Eurozone, factory orders unexpectedly rise, right? Your area retail sales edge higher. Okay. Not bad data for the euro. We're moving up. Right. So technically we saw the opportunity. We've got the fundamentals coming in, aligning and backing us up now. We're looking for that to move into target one, which is 265 pips. Right. So we pulled back and now we're looking to continue long. Right. So far, so good on that Euro Aussie play. Any questions on that? Anybody playing that to the upside?
Yes.
Awesome. Great job. Great job. Put some sevens in the chat. Right. We draw the play up, we run the play. All right. We use proper risk management. Let it run. Great work. Great work. All right. So we pull back, right? The bears tried to come in. We created a higher low, right? We're looking like we're getting ready to make that final drive and push to that target if we take that high out. Okay. So that's that. Euro CAD. Right. So this is one. Let's go back up to the daily first. Right. Here's the drive down. We just saw it on the other Euro play. Right. Here's our move up. We form that swing low. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. 4 bullish candles. Right. That was neutral to bullish, but moving to the upside, stochastics in the buy zone. Okay. Look at the swing. Here was your 80-20. Right. Hitting the edge of that 118, moving up through TP1, moving through TP2. Right. That one's probably got some room to continue running. Right. We got a cut 25 basis points out of Canada. Right. That gave us all the momentum that we needed to carry through. Any questions on the EuroCAD? Nope. All right. All right. Draw them up. Let them play out. Taking a look at this Euro Swissy. This one is struggling a little bit on the 1 hour. We'll see. We'll see if we can get that momentum. Right. So here's that swing. Take a look at the daily. We're trying to come off the lows. Right. We're struggling. We still got that low right there. We still got our stochastic in the buy zone, moving sideways, but we're getting some good momentum this morning. We'll see if that continues to break out. We almost came in at TP1, right? So some of you might have closed out on that, but we got this dip, and we're looking like we're trying to head back to get to that target on that Euro Swiss. Right? So that is a clean move, pretty much there. Then we pull back, but got a feeling that that's gonna move higher again. Right? So if you didn't get out of that one, right? If you made this play, you didn't get out of it, hold on, right? Looks like we may try to get back to that level and beyond. Okay. And we've got daily resistance there at the 61.8. So we'll see how high price wants to track on this Euro Swiss. Any questions on that play? Nope. All right. Moving on down to the Euro GBP, right? Rocking and rolling. Okay. You set up cycle in, cycle out. 1 week it might be the pounds, the next week it might be the euros, and so on and so forth. But here we are, right? We've got this low forming on the daily. Okay. Nothing typically moves fast with this pair, right? So you can see the wicks, right? Always is a struggle, but it's in the technical sweet spots, right? We play the technical sweet spots. Here we are, 80-20, slowly grinding. I'm gonna pull this one out. There we go. That slowly moving to the upside. So you can see that in this sweet spot we get that consolidation and then price tries to swing right after the strong bearish move. And so we've got weekly support here as well, right, which is good. And so, right, we bottomed out. Can we get some momentum with the Euro GBP? That's always the question. All right. Any questions on that Euro GBP? No? All right. Moving on through. Euro NZD on the 1 hour. All right. Look, focus everybody, right? It's giving it to us. It's giving it to us. Right. So look, here is a move down. Okay. This one was a falsie, right? We turned over. Happens. But here we are, right? Next low. Moving up. Stochastics in the buy zone. Okay. 4 hour, we had a swing right off the B boundary. We didn't push any lower. We're here on year one. If you're looking for that technical sweet spot, you got it right here. Right? On this Euro NZD. Okay. So we're gonna see if we can keep that momentum off the good fundamental data coming out of the Eurozone. Right? Again, Germany factory orders unexpectedly rise. Euro area retail sales edges higher. Right? We've got some good momentum. Right? That's moving these pairs. So we saw the technical setups. What's going to be the catalyst? What's going to be the gas in the engine to get price to move in our direction? Right. So far we're long. Right. So if you're off, right, of that level, right, you're already up 160 pips or so. We pulled back, but that's a pretty sizable target on a 1 hour chart, right? Over 300 pips. Keep in mind, right, that we've got a daily level there right before that TP1 target. So if your TP1 target is your out point, you might want to make sure, right, you're out before that. We've got another daily level here, right? So when we've got these large moves, make sure that you secure the bag. Any questions on the Euro NZD? All right. So this week is the Euros, right? Catching pips. So here's the Euro USD. Okay. This was a pretty cool setup. Right. So we look at the daily, we had to move down. Okay. The move down. Now you can see we're putting in the low. We're putting in the low here. Right. Starting to run to the upside. But check this out. For hour, we had an 80-20 to the downside. We tagged TP1 there. Okay. So off those levels to TP1, Euro USD, 160 pips, call it. Okay. But now look at the swing off the 382 on the 1 hour chart. We're almost a TP1 off this play. Okay. So you got the best of both worlds. Okay. So if you're new, right, you're new to the group, you can see, right, doesn't matter whether it's buy side or sell side, right? Here's the zone, there's the reversal. TP1, here's the zone in reverse. Look at that. Buying, right? We understand that the market moves in waves, right? So even if this were to get back short, we still need a high price so we can buy to that high price. Any questions on the Euro USD? No? All right. All right. Easy, easy enough. Pound Aussie, right? So we were coming out of the weekend and we had a harmonic pattern on the four, right? We spotted that. Gone, right? Completely reversed off the lows, right? Pushing long, continuing to push long. So that pound Aussie, right? We played out there, right? Had a Gartley pattern, played it out. If we go back up to the daily time frame, we can see again, right? We've established a low, right? We've established a low. Price action is moving to the upside on the pound. So we're bullish there. Here's our 1 hour play, right? 1 hour play came right to a 61.8, smaller fib, smaller wave, nice bullish candle, right? And we're pushing long, right? Any questions on the pound Aussie? No? All right, good enough. Uh, pound Swiss. All right. So we're looking at this. We're moving sideways on this daily. Okay. All right. Giving us some sideways price action. We spotted here on this 4-hour fib to the upside. We spotted this 80-20, but we just got a long consolidation going on. Long consolidation going on. So nothing doing, just moving sideways. We're trying to, right, get that discount. We're trying to get this to sell off and get that discount. So we're not there yet. We've got a major brawl going on between the bulls and the bears. That's that on the pound Swissy. Uh, moving on to this pound dollar. Right, this dollar's been bouncing back and forth. It's difficult sometimes. So if we take a look at this pound dollar, right? So you see where we tailed off, but look at what's going on now. So today is going to be key with this data again, right? 8:15 ADP, non-farm employment change. 8:30 unemployment claims. Later on today, right? Final services PMI, 10 a.m. ISM services, U.S. crude oil inventories, right? Busy, busy day today. Look how we moved down, right? So we had that crown to the downside drawn, right? Bearish crown. But look at what's going on, right? We put in a high and look at what's trying to establish here. Look at what's going on now. So depending on what happens today, right, with this data, again, we've got non-farm payroll on Friday. If it comes through, right, and it's negative for the dollar, we're going to see this continue to drive higher, right? We're going to see this continue to move higher. So we can see where we've got that 80-20, right? We broke above that zone, right? But we've got a bit of a reversal. Now, 4-hour stochastic is a sell zone way overbought, but there's no technical structure that'll stand in the way of any fundamental occurrence, right? Always remember that. So we've been tracking this move to the downside, right? Which we came into that extension. I don't know, depending on the data, I don't know if we see it coming to this low, which is where we wanted it to go ideally, right? Coming to this past resistance, becoming future support. Don't know. All right, that's all gonna come down to, let me clear this up so everybody can see it. All right, this is all gonna come down to uh, what happens with the data today. All right, so we got the inner outer trend line break. It's been a good move to the downside, but the way that's structured on the daily, we may not get that, right? It can go either way. That's the bottom line right now. Okay. So I'm kind of in a wait and see mode on this pound dollar to see what happens today with the fundamentals. Right. Again, there's the daily structure. All right. That's the cleanest look there. Okay. So since this move to the downside and that dollar strength, that DXY, right, coming off that support, we've since turned over. So if we take a look at the DXY, which I forgot to start out with this morning. We'll see where we got that positive momentum. We got that positive bounce, but look at what's happening, right? So while we're looking at that swing low to form possibly on that pound dollar, we've got a swing high looking to form here on the dollar index. Stochastic is in the sell zone. So we'll see if that dollar momentum was short-lived, right? Or depending on the data, is this just a correction and we're going to get a continuation to the upside? Got to be patient on that. Any questions on the pound dollar? No. All right, moving down to the NZD JPY. So look, here we are. Okay. Move off this low, had a low, low, put in a high, right? There's two bearish candles, stochastic, sell zone, 4 hour, 80-20, right? We want to see if we can get price to move, right? To that TP1 off the high, right? Low point, 292 pips, right? Almost 300 pips. We pulled back since then, 252. TP1 is close. We've broken below that daily level. All right. So if you're playing this, right, NCDJPY to the downside, make sure you secure that bag, right? Secure the bag, as they say. All right. Any questions on that NZDJPY? All right. NZD All right. So again, right, here's the move to the downside that we got. Okay. But we've since had that dollar turnover. Okay. Data pending. So looking at it on this 4 hour, it's been a nice move out of the zone. Be cautious, right? We saw that dollar turn over, that DXY turn back over. So it's 120 pips to the downside, but right, just a funny place right now ahead of the fundamental data with the dollar. Funny place, right? So we got daily support that we've gotten held up at, right? So if you're in this move, right, be cautious. Notice you got data. If you're up big, right, don't be afraid to secure the bag. I know in the 4 hour we're looking like we're overbought, but we've got strong fundamental data coming up, and we're starting to see a pattern, right, with these dollar crosses from that daily time frame. Here we are on a one, right? So this is another thing, right? That smaller wave. Look how we U-turn, right, in this zone. Okay. So that data is going to come out. It's going to tell us, right, what direction this wants to move. Okay? We've got time. If it's time for this to swing, and that dollar is going to continue to weaken from that data, right? We've got time to catch a low once we catch pullbacks. If this is going to be a C to D push, then we've got time. We've got time. Okay. Tricky time, right, for the dollar. With the data that's today, there's a lot of data today, and the big report that everybody waits on is tomorrow. Okay. Yep, hold on 1 second. Jeremy should be good.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. All right, so that's the NZD USD. Ryan, good morning, sir.
Good morning, bro. How you doing,
How you
man?
do? I'm doing good, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing
Good,
all
man.
right. Glad to be here.
Oh man, glad to have you here, man. So we went over a ton of 80-20s. So it's a good time to take a pause, man. Anything out there fundamentally that you're tracking?
Um, Nothing right now. Nothing that you probably already haven't covered. Just some of the basic stuff and looking for this jobs data to see where things go.
Sounds like a plan to me. That's what everybody else is doing too, right? We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah,
We'll, we'll
yeah.
follow
Gonna sit tight
along.
and be patient for a minute.
That's it. That's it, man. Especially as it relates to that dollar, right? Anybody, any questions? We covered a ton of 80-20s, right? What 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right? 13, 14 if you count the two, the 4 hour 80-20 on the Euro USD and the 1 hour 80-20. No questions. All right. So let's
Yeah, Benny.
yes, sir.
Yeah, will the link be posted as soon as possible or later on?
What'd you say? Say that again.
Um, the link to the session.
Oh, nope. I'll make sure I post it. As soon as we close out,
Okay,
I'll
thank
get
you.
it posted. Yep. Yep. Great question. All right. Let's move over, right? Take a look at some commodities. Okay. Uh, taking a look at gold. Hey, right. Still trying to chase that 2600 target. Look at the bounce. Past resistance. Becoming future support. We're holding at that level. Right? Doesn't get any better than that. All right. Straight across. Okay. That's it right there. Straight across. So let's see. Again, all the data this morning will impact this move. Right? This is gold versus the dollar. Right? We've got some highs here, kind of ranging back and forth. It's respecting this level. There's that 2600 target. Can we get any questions on gold?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Uh, taking a look at where are we at? Where's my oil play? Right. Look at the oil. We broke that level. Boy, did we break it. Okay. We got oil inventories. We got oil inventories for the U.S. This is a monthly level here. Okay, so let's see how it plays out. But it is on the decline. We made a lower low. Right. Finally broke through that level. Okay. Lots of things going on. We talked about that yesterday. Okay, concerns about demand, especially from China, right? The world's largest oil importer, concerns about their growth. Okay, so we've got possibly demand issues. So we see the move going through. We talked about yesterday, right? The increases, right, from some key regions in oil production. OPEC is talking about, increase in oil production. So we see the decline in oil, right? Maybe we find support. This is a monthly level, right? Look at that. Moving back down. So that's where we are on oil. We'll come in looking at silver, right? We're getting a swing to the upside, right? So
Hey, Benny.
look at, yes.
Just real quick, I did read this morning that OPEC is potentially going to delay that production increase.
Oh, they're gonna delay it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So instead of that October, they haven't set another date yet, but um, there's a strong probability that they're going to delay that.
Okay. So I wonder because of that data coming out of China.
Yes, that's part of it. That's
Okay.
part of it. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And so that and just slower data overall is kind of overshadowing that production delay.
Hmm.
So we still could see price continue to move to the downside, but that part they're looking at that changing.
Cool. I appreciate the update on that. That's big news. That's big news. Yep. So continued growth concerns, right? So this U.S. data will be important. Like I said, we do have inventories for the United States today too, crude oil inventories. Thanks for that, man. Yep. So here's silver. I missed this one, right? I don't know if anybody caught that one, but this is silver 80-20 to the upside on the 1 hour chart. That's coming in at that's gonna hit that TP1 target. I completely missed that one. We got the collapse here, right? The move down, took out the A, we flip it, right? And we run right back into this 80-20 zone. So that's a missed opportunity there on silver. Nat gas is still kind of just doing this thing, right? We did get to move up off the level here, off the double bottom, right? But it's since pulled back, made a higher high and pulled back again. But we'll see if this is gonna be a higher low. Hold on 1 second, everybody. All right. So that's where we are on that gas. Uh this is a gold, our gold ETF here, right? So if you're trading gold through the ETF, we've got a pullback, right? So let's see what happens with the data. That could be an opportunity if gold, right, wants to continue to push long. This is a nice healthy pullback there, right? Right around that 61.8 area to continue. So we shall see a lot hinging on the data today and tomorrow. Any questions regarding commodities? No. All right. So let's move into and take a look at uh take a look at the indices. See what we're doing, right, as we wrap things up. Just checking in on our S&P, right? There's the correction. Yeah. September, we talked about it yesterday. Traditionally, the market, right, loves to sell off in September, right? Worst performing month for stocks. We've got a lot, right, this time around. Now they're talking about a 50-point basis cut for the Fed, right? Back and forth, 25, 50 basis points. Recent data that they're tracking closely now, the bets are leaning towards 50 basis points, right? So because we're seeing a slowdown in key areas, labor market, like I said, data is important. Can't say that enough. So we'll see. Right now, we've got this correction, nice sell-off. We're starting to stall a little bit. We're starting to stall a little bit. So it's hard to tell, right? Do we continue? Maybe we come back down to this previous daily level to tap in it. But this was a strong move, right? This is a strong move. You know, the thing that's got me wondering about this September is that we got hit, which is crazy, right? How when you think about it, Ryan, how man, we got this huge sell-off, this unwinding of the carry trade. Everybody got spooked out. But man, technically that was right at an 80-20.
Right on time.
It was right on an 80-20 technical. And we got this correction. So the question is just like, man, I would love to go back to see historically, have we ever gotten a sizable correction like this in August? And then as a result, what happened in September? Because look, we got the correction, then we got a V-shaped recovery. The market came right back up, right? Almost came back to match the high, but it didn't. And so we come into September and we get this correction, but this is also a September where we're expecting Fed rate cuts. You know, uh, how does the market take it? Right? We know we were reading this morning, hey, those recessionary fears are starting to creep back in. What does the data look like today and tomorrow? All right, that'll help us out. That'll help us out in regards to, what it could look like going forward and what that reaction is going to be tomorrow, right? Today and tomorrow. So we're kind of stalling. Do we create, right, somewhere in this zone? Do we create the higher low and then continue, or are we in for a deeper correction? So that's where we are. Interesting times. Interesting times. Let me run this down to the 4 and see the 4 and the 1 to see what this correction looks like on the lower time. So we still got room off this level. Oh no, 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 no. All right. So we're pretty deep on that correction there on the 4. So we're hovering right at this area. Do we push lower, or are we gonna start to recover from here? That's the question on that S&P. See what the data holds for us. Here we are on the US 30. Right? There's that correction. Right, coming off the lows on the 4-hour. Right, so that's looking like, right, we've got more room. But Sit back and watch the fundamentals on this. Okay, this is our daily there. Right, looks the same across the board. S&P from the daily point of view. Similar thing, right? Still coming out of the sell zone there. That's 104-hour. So this is what we were talking about yesterday. All 80-20 swings, right? So if you're into shorting your indices, right? All 80-20 swings. Okay. So that's the NAS correcting. Okay. We'd look at the UK 100. Right. This is the 4. Right. Moving back down. This is just put in the low. Right. So it's gonna be interesting going forward. Let's look at back up to the 4. See, look, what is the 1? I'm sorry. The 1-hour chart, right? On the Nikkei. Right. Moving down, right? Coming in. 80-20. Boom. Okay. A lot of these have similar price action. The Russell. Okay. Already had an 80-20. From the 4-hour, that looks like, right, our S&P from the daily, right, where we had the 80-20, we found a low, and now, right, we're in that push zone and we got this pullback. So again, the question is this going to be a higher low and continue to push longer, push higher, or right, are we going to see further declines? That's what everybody's waiting. But from a technical perspective, this is textbook in regards to our sweet spots. Right? We had a little bit of everything here. We've got a double bottom. We've got an 80-20. We got a sweet spot with a 61.8 buy side. Good gains there. Now we're in wait and see mode. Any questions on the Russell 2000? No? All right. So taking a look, right? German 30. Again, right? You gotta get that updated because it's actually 40 now. Well, here we are, right? Continuing to move along, right? We didn't see a correction on this previous fib, but we're in this sweet spot now. We got some positive data out of Germany. Let's see if this holds and continue to push long. That could be a good potential good buy there, right? But you can see again, 80-20 swing, the correction. Now we're just hovering and moving sideways. Okay, moving sideways. Right? So that's a good one if you're trading indices to keep an eye out to see what happens there. All right. But do it after the data. Right. So here's actually need to update this on my other chart, but this is where I've been tracking it. So this is SMH. This is your semiconductor ETF, right? Okay. Double bottom, 80-20. Doesn't matter the asset class. That's why it's our signature move here, right? 80-20. Boom. Now we're kind of sitting here. What's going to happen next? Is the market going to rally? We know tech took a hit, right? Led by NVIDIA. Okay, we talked about that yesterday. But hey, it's due for a correction. We got it. So are we going to stay within this AB boundary? Okay, and push long from here. But that's a beautiful, right? Doesn't get any better than that. That's the 80-20. You got daily resistance there in that zone. Beautiful correction. Okay. Any questions over anything that we covered today? I know we went over, we got through a lot. No?
No questions? Nope.
All right.
Oh,
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Lots of opportunity, right? But we knew that coming out of the weekend and the weekly ritual, that there was a lot out here, right? On the charts for us to take advantage of, right? So don't have to take advantage of all of it, right? But there's a lot of opportunity there for us, and that's why we do what we do on the weekends. Ryan, anything before we close out, sir?
No, sir. Great session, bro. Appreciate you, man.
All right, all right, everybody. Appreciate you all being here. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll go ahead and get this link updated and posted in the replay section. All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.